Sadyisi lang siguro. Send ka na sadyisi. Mày tin tiền thì có những cái đang tiền cái này còn thôi còn đừng biết chi mai
should my pay, so after 2 years you bring mine to Andrew for translation. Okay.
dấu chân
What?
大家好，早晨啊！我係超呢呢個醫工會主席。
no song. Yeah, I think that one is better. Yeah, I think this one's better only. Yeah, no need personal. Yeah, yeah, just one only.
Đâu xe à?
No.
Bố xe à? Gì? Công tận à? Ôi anh nhìn mà. Không qua bố gì ấy. Đâu đi kia thôi. Thế là chỉ với cái bỏ cái bỏ nó cái bỏ cái bài đó chúng bỏ cái vào bỏ cái mà nó cái việc hả?
Sorry.
Sao mình cái gì mày? Xong đủ rồi, không thấy là xong đủ rồi, bán rồi, bán rồi, bán rồi, không tay đi, không không thêm nữa, hai trăm trang, các cái gì vậy? Dạ, hay đó. Can you say something to test the microphone?
Hello, testing.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Em nói xong rồi dạ.
Dấu chân.
Okay, thank you. Nói xong rồi dạ. Okay.
我係超呢了個醫工會主席啊！我哋今日我同講差唔多30年啦，做嘢。我而家做 UNDW 主席啊！今日我講呢個英文講得清楚嚟俾我唔係咁好啲英文聽中文啊！Ada probability divas ko upanik naman हामीहरू ले आज यो पत्रकार सम्मेलन गर्न गइरहेका छौँ यसको लागि यहाँहरू सबैजना पत्रकार जीवहरू यहाँ आइदिनु भयो यसको लागि हामी हृदयबाट धन्यवाद व्यक्त गर्दछौँ
Today on the occasion of Migrant Workers' Day, since there has been a press conference held and then you all have come to the conference, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming.
हामीहरू चाहिँ आज नेपाली डोमेस्टिक वर्करहरूको समस्याहरू लिएर यहाँ समस्याहरू यहाँ राख्न खोजिरहेको छु
And today we would like to put forward some of the problems that domestic workers are facing.
जस्तै 2016 सालमा पनि हामीले सर्वे गर्दाखेरि डोमेस्टिक वर्करको तलब 1000 समथिङ त्यस्तै थियो
Because when we conducted the survey among the domestic workers in 2016, it was found that the average salary they were receiving was around 1,000 Hong Kong dollar.
अनि आज आएर 2024 मा आउँदा पनि एकदमै 1000 समथिङ त्यस्तै छ अहिले पनि सेम नै छ
And now we are in 2024, but still the situation is the same. The average salary is is like 1,000 something around that figure.
अनि यो अनि त्यसमा पनि अझै अहिलेको एउटा केस त कामहरु यस्तो राम्रो भएन अनि कहिले केही सामान गर्दैको भएन भनेर त्यो पैसा पनि कट गर्दाखेरि उले जम्मा 800 त्यस्तो पनि पाउँछ
And there is one case which happened recently where the helper was blamed for not working properly or doing some mistakes. So on top of the salary she was receiving, there was a deduction for that. And then she was receiving around 800, around that figure.
अहिले त वास्तविक हाम्रो स्यालेरी चाहिँ 4090 डलर हो तर उसको चाहिँ 1000 पाउँदाखेरि कति चाहिँ फरक छ यो बिचमा भनेर म चाहिँ यहाँहरुलाई बताउन चाहिरहेको छु
And I would like to show you the vast difference that exists between our actual salary, which is 4,990, and the salary that that person is receiving, which is around 1,000.
अनि नम्बर 2 मा चाहिँ बस्ने व्यवस्था भन्छ प्राइभेसी भन्छ अनि हाम्रो डोमेस्टिक वर्करहरु विशेष गरेर एशियन कन्ट्रीको उनीहरु चाहिँ बस्ने प्राइभेसी नै छैन सिटिङ रुममा कसरी चाहिँ प्राइभेसी हुन्छ अनि स्टोर रुममा झ्याल हुँदैन एयरकन हुँदैन फ्यान हुँदैन त्यस्तोमा पनि रुम भन्छ यो कुरा पनि अवगत गराउन चाहन्छु
And the second point is, I would like to talk about the accommodation and the privacy. They say that they will be given the accommodation, but then the domestic workers have to live in the sitting room or in the storeroom. And in the storeroom, there is no air conditioner, there is no fan. And I wish to bring this problem also in front of you today.
खानाहरुमा पनि समस्याहरु जस्तै छ यो खानाहरुकोमा चाहिँ सबै प्राय डोमेस्टिक वर्करहरुलाई चाहिँ खानाको व्यवस्थाहरु राम्रो छैन जस्तो खाने बेलामा पनि डर मान्नु पर्ने अनि खानाहरु चाहिँ कहिले कम्प्लेनिङहरु खाएर बस्नुपर्ने त्यस्तो स्थितिहरु पनि छ
And regarding the food also, there are some problems, and the domestic worker has to be scared while having the meal. Sometimes they have to do with them what I mean.
अनि नमस्कार छुट्टीको कुराहरु छ अब छुट्टीमा चाहिँ छुट्टी पनि कसरी फुल डे छुट्टी भन्ने अब बिहान पनि आदि काम गरेर उनीहरुको लन्चहरु तयार गरेर काम सकेर निस्किनु पर्छ जस्तो 12 12:30 मा निस्किनु पर्छ अनि गएर 7 o'clock पनि गएर फेरि पनि हामीले त्यो ड्युटी गर्नु पर्छ
And talking about the rest days, they only get to get their rest day at around 12 or 12:30 after they have worked and after they have prepared the lunch. They can get the rest day, and then again one has to go back at 7 o'clock and continue doing the job. And I don't know how we can call that a rest day when we have to do that.
अनि यसैमा नम्बर 5 मा चाहिँ म भन्छु लामो समयसम्म लङ टाइम वर्किङ गर्नुपर्ने जस्तो रातमा पनि 1-2 बजे पनि शपिङ गर्न पठाउने मान्छेहरु किन्न अब यस्तो रेस्टुरेन्टहरुमा खानाहरु किन्नको लागि मालिकले पठाउने गर्छ अब त्यसलाई पनि त्यति लामो राति 2-3 बजे पनि सुत्न पाउँदैन भने कसरी चाहिँ रेस्ट हुन्छ रात
And
duty.
And the fifth point I would like to say is about the long hours. Some employers make their workers go to get some McDonald's or some restaurant food at around 1 or 2 p.m. And then they have, I mean, how can we call that they are giving the domestic workers a proper resting hours? And then they have to do the duty even during the mid-afternoon night.
Stay अब हामी एउटा काम गर्ने मान्छे हो तर पनि कस्तो भने जहिले पनि तँलाई खाउला भन्ने निकालिदिन्छु अनि तँलाई अहिले एयरपोर्ट लगेर छोडिदिन्छु भन्ने उनीहरूले चाहिँ अब यो नयाँ छ यसलाई केही पनि थाहा छैन म अहिले तँलाई एयरपोर्ट लगेर छोडिदिन्छु भन्ने अनि यस्तो कि अब मान्छेको व्यवहार होइन फेस यस्तो गरेर पोइन्ट गरेर पनि गाली गर्ने त्यस्तो गरेपछि एउटा काम गर्ने मान्छेको स्थिति कस्तो हुन्छ भनेर पनि म यहाँ भन्न चाहन्छु.
And the other point is they are not treated well, especially when they are new. They think that they don't know anything. So the domestic workers are threatened, and they are threatened, telling them that they will be fired or they will be taken to the airport and leave there. And the employers are pointing fingers at the domestic workers, and then it's almost like physical abuse. And the situation is really bad, which I would like to address you about.
नम्बर 7 मा चाहिँ यो आवास गृहको कुरा गर्दैछु सेल्टरको म जस्तो हामीहरू टर्मिनेट भइहाल्यो भने अब कोही बेला राति पनि हामीलाई टर्मिनेट गरिदिन्छ त्यस्तो केसहरू पनि आएको छ हामीहरूसँग अनि त्यतिखेर हाम्रो यहाँको हङकङ गभर्नमेन्टले पनि सेल्टर छैन हामीसँग अनि हाम्रै आफ्नै सरकारले पनि हामीलाई सेल्टर दिँदैन अनि त्यतिखेर चाहिँ हामी कहाँ गएर सुत्नु पार्कमा सुत्नु अनि अथवा फुटपाथतिर गएर बस्नु त्यो रात.
And regarding the shelter also, after the termination, one has to get to the shelter. And sometimes the helpers are terminated at the night time. And then when we approach for the shelter, the government says there's no place in the shelter. Our own government is not taking care of us. And then when that happens, when there is nowhere to go, then where is the worker supposed to go? Are they supposed to live in the park?
म चाहिँ एउटा यो नेपाली डोमेस्टिक वर्करहरूको बारेमा एउटा सानो अर्को समस्या पनि राख्छु जस्तो कन्ट्र्याक्ट पेपरमा चाहिँ हाम्रो सबै चिज दिएको छु रुम दिएको छु खाना छ सबै चिज छ ठिक लागेको हुन्छ तर पनि त्यो यतिजना मान्छे छ भनेको हुन्छ सपोज सम्झौँ उनीहरूको घरमा 4 जना फ्यामिली छ तर त्यो डोमेस्टिक वर्करले चाहिँ हङकङ आएपछि थाहा पाउँछ कि उसको घरमा 4 जना हैन 8 जना मान्छे छ.
And regarding the contract, I would like to say something about the problems that mostly the Nepali domestic workers are facing. Like in the contracts, everything is there, like everything is good, like say, there is a room accommodation, there is a food allowance and everything, which is good. And then when the domestic workers are planning to come to Hong Kong to work, like they are told that there will be, for example, there will be 4 members in the family. But when they arrive in Hong Kong, they will come to know that there are 8 family members that they have to serve.
तँलाई म यति पैसा दिन्छु भनेर एकदम अन्डर पेमेन्टमा के अब 1000 2000 भनेको त फुल्ली नै अन्डर पेमेन्ट नै हो अनि अन्डर यति दिन्छु तँलाई भनेर उनीहरूले गए सम्झौता गर्दो रहेछ अब त्यतिखेर काम गर्ने मान्छेलाई त थाहा हुँदैन कि उसको तलब कति छ उले हङकङमा पाउने उसको राइटहरू के हो त्यो कुराहरू उसलाई थाहा हुँदैन अनि ओके भन्छ अनि यो कुराको लागि सरकारले मालिकहरूलाई पनि जानकारी गराउनु पर्छ कि पर्दैन उनीहरूलाई पनि यो विषयमा भन्नु पर्छ कि पर्दैन अथवा काम गर्ने मान्छेहरूलाई पनि यहाँ आएपछि आफ्नो गभर्मेन्टले उसलाई उसको राइटको बारे बताउनु पर्ने हो कि होइन भन्ने कुरो पनि म जानकारी गराउँछु.
And another thing is like when the domestic workers are planning to come to Hong Kong to work, there will be an agreement between the employer and the helper that payment will be certain amount. And for example, 1,000 or 2,000, which is a very, very low salary. But at the time, the domestic worker, they are not aware about anything, so they say, okay. But then when they come to Hong Kong and they're exploited, and regarding this problem, isn't it that the government should be more active regarding the employers seriously following the ordinance? And then isn't it like the government's duty and responsibility to let the new domestic workers who come to Hong Kong know about their rights?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste, good morning, everyone. I'm Sarah, Vice Chairperson of Union of Nepali Domestic Workers. Here, very glad to see you all. So I would like to quote down in the day of migrant day today. So as our fellow friend was talking about all of the situation in Hong Kong, this is not a very new thing. When I was in Hong Kong in 1990, I personally suffered this one. So people are, this problem is not settling anytime because the case, rest day, underpayment are still going on. It's not improving anymore. And what I want to put down here is our Nepalese, Indian Nepalese are suffering a lot every time, day to day. In our every holiday, when we go out on Sunday, when we see them, every time we face, the girls are facing this problem. But we want to put down some points here. Some right now we are facing like 8 cases going on. So we have solved one of the cases was very underpayment, and the employer told her not paid for 4 months, and then cut her hair, and the worker was very scared, and she was very new in Hong Kong. She don't know anything to do, and she have no help. So what she decided to run away and just die, take a suicide. But later on we found her and we helped her and we settled her the claim through Labor Department, only half of her claim. This is very sad news. This is going on. And another thing I would like to put up here is another one of our Nepalese friend. He was working in Hong Kong for 19 years, but he was paid only 1,700, his salary to 2,200 per month, because the salary, he was not fully paid. And as he was not educated with this, his right in Hong Kong. So when he go, his employer make a check for him and make a bank card for him, but he's the one to hold this one. He didn't give to the worker to hold the bank card, and he will only pay the full salary in the check written, and he have to go to the bank, withdraw the money and keep only 1,700 for him, and other money he have to return to the employer. This was happened. But when he go home on his holiday, he is it's actually not holiday. He was gone home for very urgent case, and then the employer, while he was went home to Nepal, and the employer cut his visa because the employer took the advantage of the Nepal ban. So he cannot come. And right now the case is now in, we are doing the hearing in labor tribunal. So he couldn't come in Hong Kong. I hope he will join later to interview later for us through the WhatsApp call, Zoom. So another one I want to go down here, I want to say here is the worker was underpaid and then very late night work, like our co-worker told, late night work, and she was not enough food and she have to break the contract. And then she cannot even newly settle the visa because the job hopping policy in Hong Kong in the immigration. So another one I would like to say also that underpayment, but she was very underpayment. It's like 3,500 because the contract payment was 4,730, but she was underpayment for 7 months. And we have to settle down in 76%. And this didn't go to the labor department. We personally settled down with the help of the discussion with the employer. We talked with the employer. Another still happening was payment for 3,500 underpayment because the contract salary was 4,870. She was underpayment for 5 months and terminated without the notice. And had more people in the house stayed, like my co-worker said that she had only four person in the house, but she had to work for her sister and sister family. She had done that one. And also this also we have settled down through the MICAP. We went to the MICAP to settle down. And another 6 point I want to say, they're also underpayment. So this was she was paid 3,000 per month. Contract salary was 4,730 for 9 months. So late payment over 3 months, not enough food, physical abuse, sexual harassment, and constructive dismissal due to the treatment due to the ill treatment. So we have to dismiss. And then this case was settled down in labor department, but the labor employer don't want to come to the conciliation meeting because he was frightened and he just paid the money. That was very good for her. We are happy. So number 7, I want to say right now, we settled down the cases. She was paid only 1,900 per month. Contract salary was 4,870, and 6 months she was late payment. So no good food, and she sleep on the sofa. The passport was confiscated by the employer. Employer kept the passport. Her phone was checked every day, and she was mentally tortured. She was not allowed to talk with her family until even in the midnight, and her phone was taken by the employer and checked every time. So when she finished when they dismissed her, she was without notice. She was sent out by the home, and she don't know anything. And her air ticket was very late hour. Her air ticket was like 6 p.m., but she was removed from her house. She was dragged by the employer in her hand and pulled down from the stair. And she have no idea if the plane flight ticket is 6 p.m., how she can she just came out at 5 o'clock, and how she can go to the airport. This is very serious cases. We have to put down, please note down. And then she was under payment and then no food and sleep on the sofa. And we recently settled her claim. It's very, very small claim in 15%. It's very sad. And then in this case, in labor tribunal, the judge was also not happy. We want to say the judge was not happy to see all the cases coming from the South Asian cases are coming every time, and judge was not happy. And judge also very irritated to see every time our South Asian cases are coming in labor tribunal, labor department. So judge also not happy. So in these cases, if they are not happy, that is their job to do. But we are already vulnerable. So if the vulnerable cases go to the labor tribunal to ask the help, labor department to ask that, they should not get irritated. That they have to help us. Otherwise, they have to find something just like to solve this problem. This is since 1998. I was in Hong Kong. This cases is going on. It's not getting better until now. And another last point I want to say here is right now one girl also facing she only paid 4,000 by her employer. The contract salary is 4,870. She was forced to work in the shop, not enough food, and terminated without a notice. And after 1 month of working, and this case is going on labor department. So these are the point I would like to mention. And the rest day is, we already said the rest day, no rest day, full 24 hour, we don't have rest day. The girls don't have because they are not educated with their rights, and the employer have no education about the Hong Kong contract right. So even though they know it, but still they abuse it because they say that the newcomer to Hong Kong have not educated with their rights, so they are abusing these things. So I would like to mention again these things. This case in Hong Kong, no rest day, no full payment, underpayment. This thing is going on so long. It's not solving until now the problem. So with all these things, the point I would like to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Aman tem cho sai là ở đây hồ tô có thể ở văn thái chung nhau tô ở đây sáu thay thì mà tô muốn xin thêm đâu ở đây with out with time sáu thay thì mà ta phải đấy không bắt được chuyện mẫu về xe của mấy là không về xe phải cả có tỷ có nhẹ có tỷ có công ty ở đây còn ô cả lý tỷ hay lý cô dấu là công ty lý tỷ sắp thêm đâu phải chung bắt được tỷ lệ mẫu vài nên nhiều dấu đó chẳng hay ở đây mẫu privacy ở đây sáu thay thì mà ta phải cái chuyện hà tự chẳng hà mẫu ở đây mấy trong hồ giao gì ảnh cái có tỷ passport có tỷ tất sao còn mình có là passport có tỷ cái ảnh cái có chỉ thêm đâu contract paper có tỷ ta phải chỉ cái sao rồi là anh khai tròn minute khai cái lỗ ban hoa mua có tỷ có thông mua lại cái contract paper là anh khai cái có anh lỗ ban ta phải chỉ cái lo agency có tiền nào có tỷ lý thì hay phố yêu mình thấy ở đây ya pin là đừng có sai cái điều đấy
Can we announce now?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm Ampi from Progressive Labor Union, PLU, and I'm the vice chairperson of our union. As like what we hear from our migrant workers union, what we suffer here in Hong Kong for our employer is the same. Like me or the other migrant workers, every Sunday, our union, our co-migrant workers union, do an organizing in any area of Hong Kong. Why? Because we want to ask what the situation of migrant workers, especially those who are first time in Hong Kong. They are not know the rights. So sometimes they are the most are the one is a victim. Like what were they are suffering in their employer's home. Most of them they said we don't have enough food. Only they eat sometimes the left food from last night they eat or the lunchtime. They only put in the fridge and then by the following day they eat. Sometimes no proper food, like they not allowed to give some, like, because migrant workers, most Filipino like to drink coffee. They not provide the coffee, they provide by themselves. Like last time, I just was organizing last Sunday. I talked one migrant workers. She lived in a 4-story house. And then the amount, the big of the house is 3,000 with a 5 person. And according to her, she and her sister, they work together. But the problem is she don't have enough food. They said if the employer give 500 for the 1 week food allowance or for the 1 week food for the employer as well. And then the employer specified that say this food is for my husband, this another portion is for my children, and this is for mine. And the worker said, how about me and my sister? Where's our food? And they said, then the employer just ignored and then not talk about. And they said, oh, how can we work if we don't have enough food? How can we live if we just eat nothing? And then what we wish what they did is always buy their own food from their money. So that's why it's very hard for the most migrant workers if you don't have enough money, because if we don't have that energy, how can we work? Of course, if we are getting sick, our employer also will affect because we cannot work. That's why most of the migrant workers is very important to have a proper meal for every day. We are not asking to give some a lot, but just only can eat and can have a lot of energy. And then one more, the experience is problem of the migrant workers. We always talk every Sunday is the accommodation as well. Why? Because some of migrant workers, like we said in our co-migrant workers, is they only sleep in the living area. Sometimes put aside on the corner and then just put their blanket to sleep. But the problem is their employer is still watching TV or sometimes talking. How can they sleep? Sometimes they sleep around 1 o'clock after their boss stop talking or not watching. So that's why the migrant workers, we don't have enough sleep. And then we woke up around 5:30 in the morning to prepare for the children. And then sometimes some migrant workers sleep in the kitchen if we don't have a proper accommodation, not in the living area or in their own hub room. We only sleep there in the kitchen area. And then from previous as well, the migrant workers have accommodation. The employer only prepare some small bed by providing their employer is hanging on the rooftop and then put some ladder. So if she go inside, she just only sit down like this in the room and then sleep. He cannot. We don't have space because like a cabin. She just only like this. They said, oh, how can we sleep? How can be to prepare themselves for the following tomorrow if they're not comfortable. Most also of the migrant workers, the problem for the accommodation is sometimes if you are even you sleep in the employers together with the children, the problem is every night they also woke up to look after for the children, especially if they're sick. Of course, that's our duty to help, but we asking only if we have suffering like this every night, woke up and look after, we need to give some a little bit like 1 hour in the daytime to sleep, so to cover up our self to have a lot of energy. That's why sometimes most of migrant workers, if you look that they're in the park, sleeping, putting in the tent, because they are so tired. We don't have enough sleep. We need to cover ourselves, so we have we need a better accommodation, a better food, so everybody will work properly. Thank you very much.
大家好，我係阿靚啊，係我哋亞洲家務工工會嗰個主席，同埋我係泰國人，係我哋泰國工會嘅主席。我想總結下我哋嗰個姊妹而家撞到嘅情況，但係咧最嚴重咧係我哋嗰個尼泊爾嘅朋友咧，個個嚟香港都有簽合約。喺合約裏邊都有知道㗎啦，關呢啲嘢話我哋一定跟嗰個合約，所以咧我哋知道情況係一樣總結下，因為咧我哋嗰個尼泊爾嘅朋友咧係嚟香港咧，第一佢僱主都係佢自己國家，因為咧佢溝通得到，第二咧係。佢哋唔識關法律啲嘢，喺香港法律。第三咧，溝通唔到，因為你出邊都係唔識英文，唔識廣東話，所以咧僱主好容易虐待佢哋。第四咧，撞到嘅情況，但係未知道去求助邊度求助，因為咧冇得休息，電話都用唔到咁意思，所以咧唔識求助。所以咧，我哋咧喺呢度咧，我哋FADWU要求政府咧確保所有我哋家務工嚟香港打工知道嘅法律，你同我哋國家嘅政府或者你點樣做法都係一定佢清楚佢嘅語言係知道嗰個佢嗰個法律。第二咧，我哋希望咧係嚟到香港咧，香港政府或者我哋國家嘅政府有訓練關法律，俾佢知道關所有啲嘢喺香港裏邊法律。第三，一定僱主都有訓練啊，未請我哋家務工嚟香港，一定係佢訓練，佢話你一定跟進法律。喺香港係咁樣，同埋咧對待我哋家務工係咁樣做，係咁意思，唔係話你想點做係點做，唔係啊，一定跟法律。第四係有公眾地方傳出去，或者你有新聞或者上網或者乜嘢都得嘅，呢啲嘢咧係做宣傳多啲，係 係僱主呢度呢個香港係有法律，你一定跟呢條法律。第五，我哋咧希望政府執法懲罰所有僱主咧做犯法。唔該晒你哋。
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming here. I am Ruth Arceta, PLU Secretary. As our demand in FADWU, we ensure that all migrant domestic workers know their rights and how to seek justice in case of legal violation. Because I know now some workers are afraid to complain of how they feel inside, how tired they are, even though they have 16 to 18 hours working every day. They're afraid to complain of that because they're afraid to be terminated by their employer and losing their job just to provide their family back home in their country. So the second one is a mandatory post-arrival training to newly arrived domestic worker, not only from embassy or from consulate, because I know in Philippines we have that through online or face-to-face later on. But from other nationalities, I think they don't have. That's why they're not aware what they are coming through here in Hong Kong. So we ask the government to give that not only from the individual embassies giving, but from the Hong Kong government as well. Number three is mandatory training to employers about their legal responsibilities before they can hire, because I know some of them, they know how to hire a domestic worker just to help them. But we came here as to work, not just to help them, because if we help them, we don't have any contract to be signed, but we sign a contract as a worker. So we need that our basic we have an hours, working hours, not just only like you can work there whatever they want you to work. Because most domestic workers, like we do an organizing every Sunday, their problem is only the long working hours. They are tired. They love their work, but they are tired because of the long working hours. And especially if they have a child to taking care of, most of the employers give the child for them to sleep together. So there is the tendency that you have on duty on the daytime, then you do a duty on the nighttime as well, because of that responsibility. And four is raising awareness of employers' legal responsibilities in different languages. I encourage some employers also when they hire different nationalities. I know Filipinos know how to speak English. Indonesians, some of them know how to speak English, but they are fluent in Cantonese. They training on the Cantonese, but other nationalities like Nepali and Indian, they need that as well, because they are the most vulnerable people if they don't know how to speak English. So if the employer, they must aware that also, that even that they don't know how to speak English, they hire that person so they know who they are and what they need. So I encourage for the employer for their responsibilities as well. Effective prosecute and punish the employers who violate the Employment Ordinance and other laws. Because I know Hong Kong government do this. They implement some of the laws for the domestic workers. But some employers sometimes they turn into blind eye of what they're doing. They know that it is illegal, but they still do it. But the most pathetic one is the worker. They come here only just to leave their family so that they can support them and encourage their children to do the right thing as well in the future. Hopefully, the government will listen to us and the employers as well. Thank you so much.
Phần kỳ lệ Thái Lan nhà mô mảnh cái mảnh thầy con. Minute. Yeah. Can she share?
We have another one case that she needs to share. It's okay.
Wait, then can các bạn.
Wait, she don't want to show the patient.
Nào ạ. Các bạn thầy có bò dầu cho con case sĩ cái này gây sự kiện đâu. Còn
或者僱主我哋啦，僱主啦，your bad poor land is okay。
dùng cái con có
Mấy cái điều
có phải cái con thấy cái tôi gì đấy
chả có đi đây không rồi cái môn nào
không gì đâu
如果係去
kêu vào
on the chả đi đây không one time some
啲木偶嘅夾片，
interpretation
再前啲啦，最再前啲係啦，呢埋一台啊，係啊，咁樣我哋收到聲係啦，得㗎啦，
đến ra để cái
咁我應該背脊啦，係啊，
dài dòng cái khổ không có ra đi để
等佢支咪呢兩關，咁唔緊要，我哋收到。咁其實講大聲好咗。
So it's little bit, I think you stay at the, there are more closer to the.
I just finished my case. I told her to pick up appointment. And while I was working there with my employer, they mistreated me.
Sorry, wait，等陣先啊，我向翻支咪先，佢好細聲，佢實體嘅。先問啊，有啲我哋呢度嘅。
Không phải là con thì quay sang quảng Nam, quay sang ăn con thì quay sang quay sang con thì ai đấy con thì bạn còn lại
They used to use a very foul language with me.
Okay.
They did not provide me proper food also. They did not provide me any room, no bed. I had to sleep in the chair. They did not give me any rest days. And there was no fixed working hours for me. I had to work 24 hours. That was what I was told. I had to work from 5 a.m. to 12 midnight. And they tried to make me, they tried to keep me busy all the time. And sometimes while I was sleeping, they used to wake me up at the middle of the night. And then they used to tell me that I had to work 24 hours and there was no fixed working hours for me. And even when I worked properly, there was nothing wrong with my work. They somehow always found some fault with my work, and they were always complaining. They used to always scold me using foul language, and physically also they used to abuse me, assault me. And sometimes when I had prepared proper food also, they used to complain about the food I had prepared, and they made me buy a food for in a place. Like they asked me to buy a food using my own money. And sometimes when I forget, then they were not happy, and then they used to ask me why I forgot, and then they used to make me buy things with my own expenses. They never allowed me to use my phone and talk with make a call. And regarding the rest days also, I was not given a proper rest day. Like once in 15 days, I used to get the rest day, and that was also for only 2 hours or 3 hours. And it was according to their I mean, they used to give me just 2 or 3 hours day off as they wish. They never. And I was not paid my full salary. Sometimes they used to pay me around $2,000, and that also used to be deducted for something. I mean, they said that I made a mistake, and then they used to deduct some money from that 2,000 also. Sometimes they used to deduct 100, sometimes 200, sometimes 300. And for 1 month salary, they gave me only $1,000. And for 1 month, they did not pay at all. And they had taken away my passport. And it was not that I gave them willingly, they just took it away from my bag. And when I asked them to give back my passport, they used to refuse, and then they used to threaten me, telling me that they would send me back home. And when I asked them why my salary is low, they used to say that that was what I am entitled to. And then they said that if I'm not satisfied, then they will send me back, and then they will never let me come back to Hong Kong. And then I was tortured a lot. And they did not pay me the air ticket fare for coming to Hong Kong and going back, and for food allowance also, they did never give me any food allowance. And when I asked them for my passport, they terminated me. And and when they terminated me, my contract, I told them that I could not go immediately, give me some time, but then they simply refused, and then they pull my hand, and they drag me downstairs, and they threw away all my things. And they had booked a written ticket for 6 p.m. on that day, and it was exactly at around 6 o'clock that they threw me out of the place. And they were threatening me. They said that they will not allow me to come back. They will not allow me to work anywhere else in Hong Kong. And they threatened me, and then they asked me to sign in a blank paper. And I know that they used to forge my signature and sign some documents, which I was not aware about. They had never made me sign any receipts of receiving my salary. But then in the court, they forged my signature, and then they presented the document as a receipt where I had signed of receiving my salary. And they lied to the court that even though they had a camera at their home, they lied to the court and said that there was no camera. And I did not receive the salary that I was entitled to. And the judge told me to settle down, and the judge in a way was, I felt like I was being threatened in a way. And I knew that the signature was forged signature, and there was a CCTV, but then I did not have any proof or any record of those things. So I was scared, and the judge also told me that it was better for me to settle down, and that made me scared. So I could not proceed my case forward. And I had to settle down for a very little amount of money. And I agreed with the settlement.
domestic worker
And I wish to, I wish the future domestic workers who come to Hong Kong would not have to go through what I went through by their employers misbehave. And I wish that all the employers abide by all the rules and regulations in Hong Kong. And that's all. Thank you.
可以俾莎拿加少少，因為莎拿幫手係咪？你幫手佢求助係咪？
係。
OK，
幫手。
佢求助啊嘛。
Oh yeah, she's the one to call me. So in our union number, somebody helped her. So I was the one to help her, and then we all work together with FADWU, and then we guide her to get her rights. But it's very sad thing is the employer didn't come to the conciliation meeting, because she have to go to the labor tribunal again. So she have to wait it a long time. So when they go to labor tribunal, and even in labor tribunal, the judge is very not happy. So she complained that she told her that this type of cases are coming, as you are not, if you keep going on your cases, you might not able to work in Hong Kong. You have to leave the job, and you cannot get job in Hong Kong. You have to leave Hong Kong. So those type of words threatened her. So she don't know anything, because I myself, I cannot go, because I'm also working with my boss. So I have no time to go to help her, and Ellen help her. So these things she have a little, she cannot decide. So she was frightened, because she wished to work in Hong Kong. That's why she settled down in very small amount, whatever her claim is not fulfilled. So she is not even satisfied, but she have to work in Hong Kong. She wished to work in Hong Kong, support her family. That's why she just settled down in very small amount. This is our story. Thank you. So we also have
Because the time is running out, maybe we just do the Q&A.
Yeah, really.
We have one cases from Nepal. He want to talk through the online, but I don't know.
If you want to interview with
等
the
等，
arrange.
而家咪我哋答問題啊？
係即係有一個 case 係 online 嘅，佢本人係 Nepal 嘅。
online 緊。
如果你想訪問，我哋可以之後安排點樣 online 做訪問。咁而家可以
咁
做一個
我而
Q&A
家問咗呢度先啦，好唔好啊？
好啊。
好，得唔得？
咁想問下有冇記者想提問？
The questions for now TV, as we are a Chinese media, so answer in Chinese is much preferred, but English answer is also okay. I want to make one point clear. I see that most of the cases that your union received, their employers are mainly Indians and the police, but is there any cases who have been mistreated that their employers are Hong Kong people? And why there is no employers got prosecuted after your union reported to the labor department? Why do you think the reason that the employers face no?
Do you need to translate the question first?
By the person. Okay. वाले के students who wasn't now to be better out of the world, while it's a सब Chinese वाला program हो तर पनि ठिकै छ इङ्ग्लिसमा पनि हुन्छ अरे हैन र एउटा कुरा उहाँहरूले चाहिँ तपाईसँग सोध्न चाहेको चाहिँ के भन्दाखेरि जो इन्डियन र नेपालीहरू केसेसहरू छ नि त्यो केसेसहरू एम्प्लोयरहरू चाहिँ के रोजगारदाताहरू चाहिँ कोही यस्तो हङकङवाला हङकङको निवासी यस्तो पनि हुनुहुन्छ अथवा चाहिँ नि त्यो एउटा प्रश्न भएन र अर्को प्रश्न चाहिँ नि र यो युनियनले चाहिँ अब सरकारमा त्यो लेबर डिपार्टमेन्टमा त्यो कम्प्लेन गरे तापनि उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ नि कुनै अब कारबाही भएको छैन हुन्छ होइन र किन चाहिँ त्यस्तो कारबाही नगरे होला किन चाहिँ उहाँहरूले चाहिँ त्यस्तो त्यो भोग्नु नपरेको भयो पहिला चाहिँ नि हङकङको निवासीहरू कोही हुनुहुन्छ एम्प्लोयर
Yeah, here we report to the labor department for the government witness, but we never find any prosecution the government are doing to the employer. We only file the case. I don't know that is their problem why they don't come and look after the employer and why we all file the cases, more cases, but they never prosecute. That is their things. So we submit our problem to them. So they are the one to handle. So they have to handle. Another thing is all South Asian is also mainly Nepalese who is in Hong Kong. They are also Hong Kong resident, and who is Indian also mostly they are Indian resident in Hong Kong resident. So they reside in Hong Kong. So I think they are Hong Kong people. So the other Chinese family we don't know. We have seen many, but in different way. But in our cases are mostly South Asian. So this is the thing, and why the government didn't follow up, that is their thing. So we cannot proceed all the time, and we cannot go all the time to remind them to torture the bad employer. So we cannot do this thing. That's the government thing in our thinking. Thank you.
Can I ask you,
Ladies and
Which government department did you guys file the claims to the labor department?
Labor department.
And also for the case where the employer received the employee about her lowest pay, like the Indian one. So how much is she supposed to receive, and how much did the employer tell her that she's supposed to receive?
It's Nepalese. She received very less, like 1,000 to 1,900, but the employer is Nepali.
Oh, but I saw the case where the employer told the employee that as an Indian, her salary would be lower in your document.
yes, I think that is a Pitamba.
Yeah, the guy is very low salaries now in Nepal. Due to the Nepal ban, he cannot come back to Hong Kong, and the employer took the advantage while he was in Argent going home for working of 19 years. So when he was go home, employer knew that Nepal banned. So he have he's from Nepal. So he take the advantage and cut his visa, and he cannot come back to Hong Kong. So he cannot come back to get his own claim entitlement. So we found out that he was underpayment, and he was not paying the long service anything, and we contact each other, and then we try to help him to sue the employer to the labor department. After that, we go to labor tribunal. We do the one hearing, 2 hearing. Now we are going to do the another hearing on February. This is from Nepal. The employer is Indian, the rich person in the in that area, and he have not only he's the one to be he's not only he's the one to be victim in his house. He have many helper, and the other one also recently she finished her contract. She was underpayment, and all the employer come to all the worker come to his house was asked to sign the blank paper. So everyone who is working in his house is signing blank paper. So he's having 3 or 5 worker in his house. So this guy reported, the other girl reported, but she don't want to come forward to file the case. So she finished her contract, and she look another employer. So this is Indian, from India, but rich man.
can I ask you, have any cases need to borrow money to cover daily expense because the employee did not pay their wage? And you mentioned government should require employer to have a classes, something like that, before they hire domestic helpers. Are you worried about that will affect their willingness to hire domestic helpers?
係啊，你意思
即係第一有冇工人因為老闆俾錢唔夠而需要借錢而生活嘅？第二係如果我哋要求僱主要接受培訓先可以請工人，會唔會影響到僱主請工人嘅意願？
呢個咧，我諗咧係政府自己有計劃話我哋嚟香港做嘢，僱主一定知道關法律啲嘢先，所以唔好咁容易虐待我哋噶嘛，係咪？所以咧呢啲咧，我諗咧政府一定負責關呢啲嘢，唔係俾僱主去俾錢去培訓。我哋嘅意思係咁㗎。
唔好意思，想問啦，其實係你哋同勞工處嗰度，你哋係交咗啲咩資料俾佢哋咧？係點樣同佢哋舉報嘅咧？然之後佢哋先至係冇反應咁樣。
哦，多數咧我哋係睇緊係聯絡我哋啊，我哋一定收集資料先證據，例如一樣佢有 WhatsApp 俾佢朋友知道，啊呢個月我俾幾多錢，邊啲錢，我收幾多錢，或者佢生活點樣㗎？多數我哋嗰個而家我哋嗰話俾我哋嘅姊妹聽，話你點先過得入，一定有證據，呢啲係好重要嗰啲部分㗎，唔該。
I want to ask regarding to the cases that seek help from you. Did you successfully help them to get back their salary, and how long does it take?
Like a piece of land for the one, and the way is like someone with this one, suffer with the boil, you please put the piece of honor for like pero ini satu dulu bapak sini tu satu dulu kalau kita kopi somai lah.
Isto चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ भने जस्तो हामीले केस गर्छ महिना कोही 2 महिना 3 महिना लाग्छ होइन अब कतिको चाहिँ अघि हाम्रो भिक्टिमले भन्नुभएको जस्तो आधी पैसामा सम्झौता गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ किनकि हामीलाई न्यू जब चाहिएको छ होइन अब कोहीको चाहिँ उनीहरूले हामीले जस्तो वेजहरू राखेर कति चाहिँ उसले भिक्टिमले पाउनुपर्ने त्यो राखेर कति इम्प्लोयरहरू चाहिँ त्यतिमै पनि सहमति हुन्छ तर कोहीको चाहिँ 2-3 महिना 4 महिनामा पनि हाल्न सक्छ पुरै पैसा पाउँदैन।
The cases that we have done is like it usually takes around 2 to 3 months, and what happens is like when just the example of the victim that we talked about just now, like she had to settle for a very less money. It was like even half of what she was actually entitled. She had to settle for that, and sometimes the helper will have to somehow make a settlement. So it is never the rightful amount that the helpers settle for. And sometimes like they just have to settle down and they immediately also settle down. But then it is never the actual amount that they are entitled to.
Excuse me, can I add some also? Okay, I add some. Sometimes why not only for the other nationality like Indian, Nepalese, or Indonesian, but also in the Filipino nationality. Why there are some cases are not pursuing? Why? Because if the employers terminate you, you need to stay in Hong Kong. You need to provide your accommodation, your food, and then your extending visa. So sometimes the case is more longer. Sometimes the migrant workers, we don't have enough money to provide for themselves, especially for the Philippines, for the family in the Philippines or in the other nationality family. So sometimes we only settled our cases because we don't have enough money. We don't have enough evidence to prove, because it's too hard to make an evidence to represent in the tribunal. So that's why sometimes we only settled our cases. So because it's too hard. And then sometimes one of the migrant workers have a case. She terminate and then she go back to the Philippines. But the problem is, even though the employer's violation to their workers, the employers send also letters to the immigration that the employer make a false story regarding to their workers. So sometimes the immigration think about that the workers there have also violation. And then if the workers find a job and apply a new visa, the immigration refuse her visa because of the employers sent to the immigration. So that's why we cannot proceed our cases like this. Because we cannot come back in Hong Kong.
Any more questions?
I remember you mentioned something about judges giving you a hard time in court. Can you talk more about that? Can you elaborate what happened?
And I think it's been the question for you. Can you come answer?
While the story was judge will say गाह्रो बनाएको थियो के बाहिर केही भनिदिनुहुन्छ कुन चाहिँ गाह्रो थियो होइन
सीसी क्यामेरा पनि थियो उहाँले भयो सबै सीसी क्यामेरा छैन अनि त्यो सर्भिङ त्यो क्यामेरा भएको थियो अनि त्यो सहीहरू प्रुभ गर्नको लागि मलाई धेरै पैसा खर्च लाग्ने 1 लाख रुपियाँको 1 लाख डलर भन्दा बढी खर्च लाग्ने भन्ने भयो त्यसपछि टाइम पनि लङ लिन्छ धेरै लामो टाइम लाग्छ भन्नुपर्छ उहाँले
In the court, I was asked to settle down for the case, and actually the evidence in the court presented were not true. It was like a forged signature, and there was a CCTV also, but then they lied to the court and said that there was no CCTV. And so the judge told me that it would be very difficult for me to prove that that signature was not mine. And then it would be very costly, like it would be around $100,000 just to verify my signature, and which I simply cannot spend so much money. And then I was told that it would take very long time for the case to finish.
काम पनि गर्न पाएको थिएन मैले काम गर्न पनि यहाँको संसार पाउने लाग्यो
And it was very difficult for me to stay in Hong Kong because I'm not working and I don't have any earnings, and then it would be very difficult for me to make a living because I'm not allowed to work.
अनि पछि त्यो प्रुफ गर्न सकिन भने मैले त्यो जुन अदालतको खर्चहरू छ जुन अब इम्प्लोयको खर्चहरू उहाँको नाम गर्दाखेरि छुट्टी दिनु भएको त्यो खर्चहरू सबै मैले पे गर्नुपर्ने त्यसरी गर्नुभयो
And I was told that if I lost the case, then I would have to pay all the cost expenses, like the employers, like the day they have to come to the court, and have to make all the payment. And I was told that I may never be able to work later. So that's why I got very scared, and then I was willing to settle for a lesser amount.
इम्प्लोयरले जुन मलाई दिनुभयो नि अमाउन्ट त्यसमा चाहिँ म खुसी छैन किनभने मलाई फुल स्यालेरी पनि दिनुभएन फेरि
And I'm not actually satisfied with the amount that I received, which was lesser than the half of the actual amount I was entitled to. So there were a lot of things that I was told that made me really scared, so I had to settle down.
This is the release and this is the straw. Like
And I wish to thank the Nepali Union, the PressCon and Miss Anne and all everybody who has helped me and supported me. And I wish to thank them. And thank you.
So sorry, here I want to add her because she have no accommodation, no money, nothing. So we have to find some sponsor for her for the center. So someone of are helping for the supporting her for the fooding and lodging. So these are things happening. So she's now looking for the new employer. We don't know we can get how long the time will take for her to get the new employer, new job. We don't know. She have to settle down due to she was very scared with the judgment doing by the judge from the court. So she cannot decide, and then after that she called me directly and she said, I settled down in this amount, and I was a little bit not happy, and I said, why you are settling down in a very, very small amount, because you're waiting and you pursue the case for long. And later on she said, because the judge said this and that, all the thing what she said now, the judge says those things. So I'm so frightened, so I have to settle down. So I said, Junie and me, we said that we have no any choice, it's up to her. So we say, if she settle down, she settle down, but we are not really satisfied. Just the victim is already frightened, and if those type of judging from the head is coming from tribunal, and we cannot do anything. So she was frightened. We cannot also handle her and support her, find the sponsor for her for all this whole year to finish her another case, and then to find some food for her copy signature. And we don't have time to, and we have no money to sponsor her. So we didn't decide to settle the case, but she's the one to settle the case in very small amount. Thank you.
所以咧，我哋咧係少人揾我哋投訴，因為你知道時間咧關嗰個投訴咧係長，又冇地方住宿，又冇食物，又冇收入，呢啲好困難為我哋嗰個家務工。我諗咧仲有多人係咁嘅樣嘅情況，但係咧佢唔夠膽投訴咁意思㗎。所以咧係第一頭先講咗啦，冇地方住，又冇收入，又冇食物，又揾到工，因為點解按 process 咧唔可以揾其他僱主㗎？呢個係我哋嘅情況，所以咧我哋咧係要求政府係接受我哋嗰個訴求，我哋5個訴求呢個。因為我哋點解係咁樣講法咧？我哋想知道，想係我哋姊妹，唔好話邊個國家，係平等對待我哋家務工。我哋起身咧睇下，做呢個 slogan 俾我哋香港政府或者我哋國家咧 ，equal right， equal right，equal pay， equal pay， equal pay， equal right， equal pay， equal right， equal pay。 平等對待我哋家務工，平等對待我哋家務工，平等對待我哋家務工，唔該晒。仲有冇問題？唔該晒。
Did you write the size of bedroom? You don't need to write.
咁我代表我哋亞洲家務工工會聯會咧，好多謝各位記者嚟呢度聽我哋嗰個聲音，聽我哋嗰個訴求，同埋咧我哋嗰個問題，唔該晒你哋。家務工作分享呢個上篇。
不如之後，我哋再叫多一次，就嗌嗰個數位啊，高頭呢啲揸住我哋，覺得仲有個 case， 另外個 case 一齊講，仲有 case 啊？唔係，背住我哋，係啊，背住我哋得唔得？試下，冇所謂啊，冇所謂啊，你要先單嗰個 step short two 啊，再咁咯，再叫多次咯。
希望可以我 say 住佢啦，我玩喺你眼度，我 say 落關係。
Equal rights, equal pay. Equal rights, equal pay. 平等對待我哋家務工，平等對待我哋家務工，平等對待我哋家務工，
平等對待我哋家務工。
可唔可以再嗌多？嗌多幾次啊？
英文、中文唔該。
冇所謂，中英文都得。
Equal rights, equal pay. Equal rights, equal pay. Equal rights, equal pay. 平等對待我哋家務工，平等對待我哋家務工，平等對待我哋家務工，平等對待我哋家務工，平等對待我哋家務工，平等對待我哋家務工。
可唔可以揸住歌已經係啦，揸住張紙啊已經。望係得㗎 ，OK。依家得未？好，唔該晒，唔該晒。唔該晒。我以為你走咗啦，我以為你喺個特工度咧，工作嗰度。
Maybe really quick, 3 minutes. What? Question and answer. See, I don't think what my goal is. Oh, yeah. What is the I have one question. It'll be similar to the ones that we've asked. I just need it with my voice too. And it's recorded. So I can. Yeah, it's recorded. No. Three to six. What is that?